So hello everyone, in this audio class we will discuss the 20 most important questions from the chapter movements of ocean water. These questions will be very much important for your upcoming KVS and NVS geography PGT interview. So let's get started with the question number 1. What do you mean by movement of ocean water? So ocean water is never static, is continuously moves in three forms: waves, tides and ocean currents. Waves are caused mainly by wind, tides are caused by gravitational pulls of moon and sun, and the ocean currents are larger masses of moving water flowing in a definite direction. These movements help in redistribution of heat, nutrients and moisture across the globe. For example, the Gulf Stream carries warm water from the tropical Atlantic towards Western Europe. Next question: if ocean water is always moving, what is the difference between waves, tides and currents? So waves are short-term movement, tides are periodic rise and fall of sea level, and ocean currents are continuous flow of water. And waves are mainly caused by wind, and tides are caused by gravitational forces of moon and sun, and ocean currents are caused by winds, temperature and salinity differences. And waves, ocean waves are in case of ocean waves, water particles move in circular motion, and in tides water level rises and falls, and ocean currents water moves horizontally. So, for example, a beach wave, a high tide in a Bay of Bengal and the Gulf Stream are the three different forms of ocean movement. Next question: how are waves generated? So, most waves are generated by frictional force of wind blowing over the ocean surface. The stronger the wind, the greater the wave height. Other causes include earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, underwater landslides. These may generate giant waves known as tsunamis. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami was generated by an undersea earthquake. Next question: what are the important characteristics of a wave? So the major characteristics are crest. Crest is the highest point of a wave, and trough is the lowest point of a wave, and wave height is the vertical distance between crest and trough, and wave length is the distance between two successive crests. Wave velocity is the speed of wave movement. These characteristics help us understand wave energy and behavior. Next question: why do waves break near the coast? So as waves approach shallow coastal water, the lower part of the wave experiences friction with the sea floor. The waves slows down, the upper part continues moving faster. As a result, the wave topples forward and breaks. For example, breaking waves observed in the beaches of Puri and Digha. Next question: what are tides? So tides are periodic rise and fall of sea level caused by gravitational pull of the moon and sun, and the centrifugal force produced by the earth-moon system. Tides occur regularly along coastlines. For example, high and low tides are observed daily at the Kolkata port. Next question: why is the moon more important than the sun in generating tides? So although the sun is much larger, the moon is much closer to the earth. Since gravitational force decreases with distance, the moon exerts a strongest tidal influence. Therefore, the moon is the principal tide generating body. Next question: what is the role of centrifugal force in tides? So the earth and moon revolve around a common center of gravity. The motion creates a centrifugal force. The balance between gravitational pull of the gravitational pull of the moon and centrifugal force produces two tidal bulges on opposite sides of the earth. Hence, most coastal regions experience two high tides and two low tides every day. Next question, what are spring tides? So spring tides occur when earth, moon and sun lie in a straight line. Their gravitational forces combine As a result, high tides become higher and low tides become lower. Spring tides occur during full moon and new moon. Next question, what are neap tides? So neap tides occur when the sun, moon are at the right angles to each other relative to the earth. Their gravitational pulls partly cancel each other. As a result, high tides are lower, low tides are higher. Neap tides occur during the first and third quarter phases of the moon. Next question, what is the practical significance of tides? So tides are important because they help navigation in shallow ports, assist fishing activities, remove pollutants from estuaries, support tidal energy generation. For example, the Bay of Fundy in Canada experiences very high tides and has great tidal energy potential. Next question, what are ocean currents? So ocean currents are large masses of ocean water moving continuously in a definite direction. They act like rivers within the oceans and help transfer heat from one region to another. For example, the Gulf Stream carries warm water across the North Atlantic Ocean. Next question, what are the major factors controlling ocean currents? So the main factors are prevailing winds, Coriolis force, temperature differences, salinity differences, gravity, configuration of continents. Together these factors determine the direction and speed of ocean currents. Next question, how does temperature influence ocean currents? So warm water is lighter and tends to move towards higher latitude. Cold water is denser and sinks. This creates a circulation pattern in the oceans. For example, warm equatorial water moves poleward through currents such as the Gulf Stream. Next question, how does salinity affect ocean currents? So higher salinity increases water density. Denser water sinks and moves beneath lighter water. This density difference helps generate ocean circulation. For example, dense saline water from the Mediterranean Sea sinks and flows into the Atlantic Ocean. Next question, what is the Coriolis effect and how does it influence currents? So the Coriolis force is the force produced by the earth rotation. In the northern hemisphere, currents are deflected to the right, and in the southern hemisphere, currents are deflected to the left. This creates large circular current systems called gyres. Next question, differentiate between warm currents and cold currents. Warm currents move from low to high latitudes and cold currents move from high to low latitudes. Warm currents increase temperature of nearby coasts, cold currents lower coastal temperature. Warm currents increase humidity and cold currents reduce humidity. Warm currents example Gulf Stream and cold current examples Labrador current. Next question, how do ocean currents influence climate? So ocean currents redistribute heat across the earth. Warm currents make coastal areas warmer and wetter, and cold currents make coastal areas cooler and drier. For example, Western Europe experiences milder winter because of the Gulf Stream. Next question, why are richest fishing grounds often found where warm and cold currents meet? So the warm current and cold currents meet. When warm and cold currents meet, nutrients are brought to the surface, plankton growth increases, fish population becomes abundant. Therefore, these regions become major fishing grounds. For example, the meeting of Gulf Stream and Labrador current near Newfoundland. Next question, what is the study of ocean movements important? Why is the study of ocean movements important in geography? So the study of ocean movements is important because they influence climate, rainfall, navigation, fishing, coastal ecosystems, global heat balance. Thus, waves, tides and currents play a significant role in shaping both the physical and human environment of the earth. So here is a bonus concluding statement of this gist of this chapter. Ocean movements are not merely physical processes. They regulate global climate, support marine resources, facilitate navigation, and maintain the earth's heat balance. Therefore, understanding waves, tides, and currents is essential for understanding the functioning of the earth's system as a whole. So thanks for listening. Keep listening for further audio classes. Thank you.